Hello everybody and welcome to Cinema Savvy. It's myself George bringing you a brand new movie review, and today I'm giving a spoiler-free review on Jurassic World Dominion, written and directed by Colin Trevorrow, that will be released this Friday the 10th of June. Now I mentioned it's going to be spoiler-free. I'll be keeping this possibly as clean as I can. I know it's been released in some countries before tonight's embargo, which is very odd. And I'm recording this a few days after seeing the film anyway, so it's going to be a bit hazy in that regard, so hopefully there's going to be nothing mega on this. But before I get into this film, and give a bit of background actually to the Jurassic Park and World franchises, I'm very quickly going to go over the social medias for you. So we are now on Instagram. We have joined that recently, myself and Tate are manning that, and you can find us on there and on Twitter with the same username, at cinema_savvy. You can also find us on the usual websites, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy. And we've now dropped TeePublic. We've moved to Redbubble, a merch store. It's a lot easier, a lot more designs. It's a lot better, and there's a lot of stuff coming on the way. So I finally best get some decent merch. That is going to be in the description below, and you can get us our Redbubble link there. But if we're going to talk about this film, I'm actually going to talk about Jurassic Park as well. Obviously, just first the side plug. We're doing a Steven Spielberg retrospective. So if you're a fan of this film or any of the Jurassic Parks, do hit the subscribe button. July the 5th is when we're going to be reviewing the first one, and July the 19th is going to be the second one, doing a weekly Spielberg series. So if you're a fan of those, do check them out. And it's kind of really interesting with this film coming out now, how that timing has come to be. But if I'm going to give a bit of background to my thoughts heading into this, the first film is one of my favourite films of all time. I've met loads of the cast. I'm a big fan of it, try and see them at conventions and stuff. I absolutely love it. And, you know, kids love dinosaurs. There's nothing wrong with stuff like that, and as adults do as well, and it's just something really cool. So I've always had that connection to them whilst it being a fantastic film. Jurassic Park 2 and 3 I really don't mind. I've got a lot of fun with both of them. I think 2 is actually quite underrated. And then you get the Jurassic Worlds, which, you know, I actually really enjoy the first one. I think the first one's probably the second best Jurassic franchise film. I don't know what you're going to call it now. Not a Jurassic verse, hopefully, unless Godzilla does want to turn up in the next one. But no, and then Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom I've seen once, and I probably won't ever see it again. So that's enough on that one for me, and it's probably the same with this if I'm going to give my initial thoughts. So the background for this is that a year ago at Fast 9, I was with Theo at that, who's on the channel. They played a prologue for Jurassic World, and you know, they really played up the whole, the dinosaurs are in the real world now, we're going to be with them. And it was a really fascinating story where you had this, I think T-Rex was in like a drive-in cinema. And then maybe last year or the year before, COVID's a bit of a blur, they released a short film of a T-Rex at a campsite, attacking like a campsite, like a caravan park or something. There's some really cool ideas floating around, and it did start to build up hype for this. And then most of it's just dwindled since then, if I'm going to be blunt. The trailers have done nothing for me. And I've just struggled with a lot of it, which is a shame because the original trio has come back, and I will actually get to those shortly. But it feels very flat. This is before I saw the film. I don't know if it's because Top Gun was so good, and we've had a really good run of films recently. It's really took my mind off it. Has the trailer been overplayed? I don't know. But some things to me has just disappeared. And I've seen a lot of people talking online, is this film going to bomb? It's definitely not going to bomb. But it's going to be really interesting to see its numbers compared to films that are around it and compared to other entries in the franchise. So I kind of mocked my initial thoughts of the film then, and this is where I kind of stand with it. No Jurassic World or Park film should be an espionage film about humans, should be an espionage film about locusts. Why are dinosaurs coming third fiddle in a film about dinosaurs? And that's the core of it, and I think where Jurassic Park 2, or Jurassic World 2, sorry, ends with the concept of the dinosaurs living amongst us. There was really good ideas there, and as I said, the prologue, the short films, there were really good ideas then, and we just don't get any of that in this film. And it's so flat watching it. As a fan or just wanting some excitement, you're just waiting for something to turn up or something good to happen, and you just don't ever really get it until way too late. And once my head's already out of it and I couldn't be less bothered, that's when it gets a little bit better. And it's such a shame to say that. And if I'm going to talk about some of the cast members as well, obviously, you know, we unite it's not really a trio as such in the world, but we get Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, who are obviously raising the daughter from the last film, and they're fine. There's never really been chemistry there. I think Bryce Dallas Howard, I really like her as an actress, but I think a lot more people are excited to see her behind the camera now, moving on with the director's career, which is very exciting. But those two have never really done it. I don't think they've ever had that chemistry. I mean, I don't mind Chris Pratt. I know a lot of people dislike him. I know that his sort of hype era has maybe ended or something, and all that sort of stuff. But those characters have never really felt like leading franchise characters, and I think that's the beauty of the very first film where those years ago is the trio formed, i.e., You know, we've got Jeff Goldblum, we've got Laura Dern, and we've got Sam Neill. That really, it's not like you've got, you know, like A-listers or anything, but they work because of the core of the story, that they're characters that are in the story about dinosaurs. Whereas when you get to Chris Pratt, you have someone that's more of an action star in a dinosaur film. And that's where a lot of it gets lost. And if I'm actually going to sort of give some thought on the original characters returning, it's a real waste. And it's so disappointing because when they announced they were coming back, there was so much excitement. You had that great trailer shot, and as many great trailer shots are in films these days, you know, it's because they're going to be the best bit of the film, and they're in the final act, and you never really get them back together and feel this like sense of fun. And I think Jeff Goldblum, I will say, is the absolute standout for me, because not because he's playing Ian Malcolm, because they brought on Jeff Goldblum and said, Jeff, just be yourself. And he's very funny in this film, and obviously he's funny in the original, but at this point he's just playing Jeff Goldblum, and it kind of made it not slightly frustrating in a way, but I just feel like it's a real waste of a big screen experience to have these characters back and just have nothing interesting happen with them. We don't get any decent character drama. Everything is telegraphed and by the point. It's something we can all see coming as well. And then we even have, I apologise, I've forgotten his name, the actor who played Spider-Man's dad in the Amazing Spider-Man films, who's a secretive scientist, not just in Spider-Man, this too. Basically, he's just playing Mark Zuckerberg, and Mark Zuckerberg could do stuff with dinosaurs and genetics, and it's probably one of the worst villains I've seen in a long time. And again, something else that's so horrifically telegraphed, it's just such a put-off for people at home, so it's a real struggle to get through the character of this. What I will say, there is one standout, and that's DeWanda Wise, who's new to this film. She's like a pilot in this. She's great fun. She's having a great time. She's got really good chemistry with the other cast members. She's got an interesting character. I think she's the best thing in this film by a country mile. I don't think anyone else gets not even a chance to be as good. Everyone in this film just has such poor scripts, dialogue. I don't know, less drama. It's so disappointing. And again, if you rewind those clocks to when this was announced, it's going to be the final one. It's going to bring everything together. It's going to bring the eras together. I never had that sense of urgency. I never had that with the story. I don't think the story is ever there from the get-go. Now, if I'm going to give it a positive, I will say that it has a good final act. And you want to know why it's got a good final act? Because they actually let them have dinosaurs in it. Who went to watch Jurassic World Dominion to see an espionage film about the cloning of a human from the previous film? No one. No one wants to watch a Jurassic Park film for that. Yet we're battered over the head with how important this is. And it's such a shame because you're wasting all the actors and actresses with that. You're wasting the fact it's a dinosaur film. And it really has just left this gaping hole in this, not in franchise, because this is going to supposedly finish the franchise, but it's just a real downer. It's not what this franchise deserved. And I just think it's just terrible. I don't normally go in scathing on films, especially on a spoiler-free one, but I got home after the screening, I chatted to my dad, and he's really looking forward to it. I said, no, you're not going to like this. This isn't a dinosaur film, and you know, I'm going to go and watch the documentary on Apple, which I've heard really good stuff about from a lot of people I follow. So, yeah, it's a real mould one for this, and people know about like action set pieces. There's a really cool motorbike chase again, all in the trailers. You get the shot of Bryce Dallas Howard, also in the trailers, which is one of the only few great shots of the film, where it actually looks like you're in a film, or they've put some creativity into it. But that's done quickly, and again, we've already seen it. And obviously, at the end, you know, you do have a dinosaur sort of thing. So that does work to its advantage. But just every time you get an interest in the film, it just takes you out of it. Again, no one wants to watch a Jurassic Park film to see a plot about locusts and the crops of the world. It's just absolutely insane that this got that far. And I'm not going to try and get into the Star Wars stuff too much, but obviously Colin Trevorrow didn't direct Episode 9. And I kind of came out of cinema thinking, well, you know what? Maybe that is a blessing. Yes, that first chapter's out to read, but if that's how a franchise is going to end, I never want to see this. I'd much rather had what we had, and that's kind of how I feel. It's just a lull, and even Michael Giacchino, who's one of my favourite ever composers, I don't ever think his score jumps out. I know he's worked on some incredible stuff from his, like we've seen with the Batman, he's doing Lightyear, he did Spider-Man, his work is endless, he's doing the new Thor film. I just don't think even he got the chance to do it on his first Jurassic World score was fantastic. I really enjoyed that, what they did again with the park being open with the score as well, and I just don't think we've ever had it replicated. It's such a shame. It's a shame it's going to go out this way, and it's the most exciting thing about the film, going to be following its box office, unfortunately. So this isn't one I'm probably going to ever go back and revisit. I don't know if many people will. Maybe it'll have its fans. Again, it's not hard to sell a film about dinosaurs. People love dinosaurs, so why do you not include them for most of the film? Completely boggles my mind. And you know, there's a whole essay that could be written about, how in Jurassic Park 1, the primary story isn't the dinosaurs, it's the park and all that stuff, but the dinosaurs come into it and are their own. Whereas in this, it's just a baton over the head of reference after reference, and I just don't think it works. It didn't work for me, at least. If it's worked for you, obviously just let me know. Say I'm in the wrong, please, because, yeah, it's going to be really flat. And again, if people can enjoy it, fair play to you. You will enjoy that film, but I just think the deterioration of the last two films is just ridiculous. And that's where we're going to leave it out. Go and watch this film? No. Go and watch Top Gun Maverick. Go and watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Go and watch something else, something much better to occupy your time with. I'm sure you'll be watching if you want to see dinosaurs, but as I said, I'm going to go check out the Apple documentary now, which looks phenomenal. And again, even the CGI in this film doesn't look that good. I don't know how the CGI looks worse now than in the early 90s on that first Jurassic Park film, but here we are saying that. So yeah, that's going to stop me talking about this film much longer. Hit the subscribe button if you liked that. If you don't, obviously I'm not going to be fussed as to why, but please do comment your thoughts. Again, if you disagree, comment them. I'm curious to read them and all that sort of stuff. We've got a lot of videos in your way. We'll be picking up the mood. We'll be talking about the original Jurassic Park not too long away. I think 3 or 4 weeks by the time this comes out, so do stick around for that. A lot more Jurassic Park stuff on the way, alongside many other things. And again, social medias, Instagram and Twitter at cinema_savvy, Facebook and letterboxd.com/cinemasavvy, and a link to Redbubble in that description below. And if you're watching this at 8 PM tonight, we're going to be going live talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi literally as soon as this video finishes. So please do check that out. A lot of Star Wars stuff, Anakin, Obi-Wan, all that great stuff. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you then. Take care.